Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Happy Monday, July 22nd. Unbelievable how quickly time is flying, at least for me, and maybe it is for you. I'm actually hearing that from quite a few people. But we are about 30 seconds away from the New York Open here on this Monday. NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow, 1 minute charts here, guys. These are the three sisters. This is VWAP, volume weighted average price, 2.5 standard deviations. And I'll be waiting here to see how this market reacts on the open. All right, guys, we are open here on New York, waiting for this first candle to finish on the 1 minute, and that'll be our 1 minute open range for the rest of the session. And then I'm going to cut out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things of that nature to keep this video nice and tight. We'll focus on whether there's something to talk about or if there's a trade setup that I believe might be worth taking. Let's take a look at the power grid here very quickly for the NASDAQ. This is my vehicle of choice. In other words, out of the three sisters, the one that I trade, there's still that 1 minute open range candle dropping quickly here all of a sudden, having rallied fairly strongly here through the UK session. As a matter of fact, part of Asia as well. That's those different background colors you see, Asia, UK, and now of course a new background color for New York that has just begun. And that is the 1 minute open range, guys. It looks like a fairly big candle, let me just tell you. It's 50 points, almost exactly 50 points for the NASDAQ futures. We have an inside day on the daily, meaning that the high so far today is below Friday's high, and the low is above Friday's low. It's inside of the range. And so the high and low of Friday will be my range for today. Back to the three sisters, rallying a little bit here, but inside open range on the Dow, dropping in, kind of sitting sideways on the S&P. Looking like we want to drop down here on the NASDAQ. I'm not going to jump all over this anytime soon. There are the three daily sisters, inside day on the Dow, inside day on the S&P, and inside day on the NASDAQ, as I mentioned already. I'll be watching this, guys. I'll put you on pause for now, and we'll just watch this structure kind of begin to form here on this opening chaos of Monday after a weekend of market participants kind of thinking about what they might want to do with their portfolios. Put you on pause. We'll come back. And wait for this to play out a little bit and see what the market offers. If we get a retest and a rounding here under the EMAs, I may consider a short because we do have this pullback zone that is available on the 30 minute, having tagged 1, 2 zones from Friday. Yeah, something to consider. I mean, we have a bullish body, of course, on the daily, but a pullback here, of course, is due given that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 down days and now an inside day. We've had this rally. The bullish body is from Asia and from the UK. We don't know if the North American participants are feeling quite as bullish as they were this morning or overnight, I should say. Very lackluster price action. Dow pulling back a little bit here. As many of you know, I've been ignoring the Dow for the most part on the open, given that it's been marching to its own drummer. A index of 30 industrial stocks, price weighted, whereas we have these broad 500 and 100 stock indices on the S&P and the NASDAQ. Much overlap, or a lot of overlap on these two. All right, guys. Looking for a pullback here, and I may consider a long. This is not an order. I'm just getting a marker ready here. Just watching. All right, nothing yet, guys. I'm just watching. This is not live. I'll let you know if I go live. Watching the three sisters always on another chart or screen. Pull back. All right, just thinking here, guys. Just thinking. Clean traffic zone. Looking to break the daily high. All right, guys, buy stop order. buy stop order live now above these two candles. As you can see, it'll be the session high above EMAs. At this zone, I'm looking for a break of Friday's high on the daily, very key area. And of course, I need that break first. And we actually, looks like we might have got it. No, not really. Nothing meaningful there anyway. We need to have a volume surge and a push above. And that can give us just enough, potentially, for this to go. Tricky though. One of the reasons I'm considering along here, guys, is because we are testing we were testing the high of Friday after the significant pullback orderly on the daily, right? Due for a bit of a pullback here, a little bit of a rebound or a pause in the selling action. And we are here at these key zones from Friday as well, of course, on the 30-minute chart as well. What I like about this though is that on the open, we actually dropped down and broke three candles on the 30-minute chart, lows, right? Took out the three lows and then flipped back up again. So this is an engulfing candle. This may end up being a bearish engulfing if this body closes dramatically blue, right? Down candle. Or this thing could flip up and become a bullish candle, in which case the bearish engulfing candle did not resolve on the bearish side. I will say this is a fairly tricky entry given that we are running right into a zone. The daily is very key on this because the explosive nature of breaking a prior day's high or low is significant on the open where there's a massive amount of volume. And that's all I'm asking for to get us through this is because of what I see here on the highest time frame. And as you know, I sometimes call the daily chart God when it comes to price action. And you don't want to fade God, right? And I'm not religious. And I'm in, guys. And I'm in. I am long the NASDAQ. And now it's the waiting game. I'll put you on pause and bring you back. All right, guys, we're back. And as you can see, we've been kind of grinding around here. Pulled all the way down to the bottom of the open range. Still very much intact here, building some kind of a base. But I'm not loving this price action. It's 10:30 already. Been sitting grinding in this. And as you can see, we have an inside candle on the 30 now of that engulfing candle, which finished marginally bullish. And now, of course, we have another inside candle of an inside candle for now, of course, on this new 30-minute candle. And so I'm not loving this. If we can get back to break even up here, I'm going to get out. In other words, I am setting my take profit at break even, which is something you rarely see me do, but this is what the dance is all about. This is dynamic trade management, and it makes sense in the context of what I'm seeing, or more accurately, what I'm not seeing playing out here, and that is this momentum continuing to the upside. And so I'm willing to step aside on this one if I can get that break even and just start fresh for the rest of the day. So my take profit is now right there at break even. And there it is, guys. And so I am out at break even on this trade while prices go higher. Again, you rarely ever see me take a break even on the way back in my direction. Hardly ever. But because I'm not seeing what I want to see here, I'm going to do that. Now, as some of you have asked, I'm going to let this video continue to play so you can see in hindsight, of course, if that was a resourceful decision. In other words, will prices continue now to my target, in which case I shouldn't have taken a break even, or will they pull back and stop me out, in which case it was a good idea. Now again, as you've heard me say before, this is completely irrelevant to my decision making. I'm making a decision what I have available to me now in terms of information and data. But this is kind of a fun game. I know that some of you like to play, and that's fine with me. But it also allows you to see the times that these types of decisions pay off and when they don't, and that's just all part of the equation. So I'll put you on pause and we'll come back. And there it is, guys. It's almost 2 hours. It's 11:23. A little bit less than 2 hours, but what a grind this was. So it turns out, in hindsight only, of course, that it was the right decision to take that break even. Again, a very rare, out of my 900 approximately videos on YouTube, maybe you've seen me do this 3 times, maybe. And that is to get out of a trade at break even on the way back up after a drawdown. Very unusual, but it has everything to do with this mess and this grind. The fact that this break above Friday's high failed back into the range again with the configuration that we see here, the inside candle to the inside candle and so on and so forth that I explained earlier. Now, it was a long time ago when I explained that because I've had you on pause all this time, but I'm pretty sure I explained it pretty clearly. Have an amazing day, guys, and a great week. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon.